Hey all, Peyton Marine here with another status report. This is going to be a pretty quick status report because, kind of a lot going on, but not a lot going on this past month. But then also, this is going to be my last video for a little while just because Nova is happening. I'm actually heading out today a little bit early to kind of get other things kind of situated and then be heading up on Wednesday for Nova. So definitely looking forward to that because Wednesday night we have the Games Workshop preview event, which at the same time they usually update a Warhammer community article now. So literally like seconds, maybe minutes after they announce things in that preview event, then we start to see them on the Warhammer community site. So definitely stay tuned and look for the Warhammer community site and stuff like that. And I'll probably post some of my thoughts on that. There's like this rumor going around of a Black Templars orc box that we might see there. I know last year at Nova they previewed the Speed Freaks thing, so it could be a theme. Maybe we'll see some more orc stuff this time. So a Black Templars orc box set would definitely kind of be right up the, alley of that. Other than that, things going on this month was really just kind of the sprint for Nova. I was able to get some base colors down on my executioners. They're definitely not up to what I want them to be. I definitely have a lot more like shading and edge highlighting to do and just other effects and stuff like that. Plus, I kind of tried to cheat and use the contrast paint for the green on the tank. And the green, I've seen this before on using on flat panel stuff and vehicles and stuff. It kind of doesn't have a really even coat to it. I was kind of hoping that I could, seeing I wasn't doing the whole vehicle, that I can maybe limit that. But there is still a decent amount of that, so I'm probably going to have to, well, not probably, I'm going to go over it again later with just the regular, Warpstone green and kind of even it out better. But for now, this will do so I can get them on the table. Other than that, and then I still have to get the canopies finished on my Xiphon Interceptors. Because I don't know what I did with them. I completely misplaced them in packing up and moving and all this stuff that's been going on lately. Somewhere in the shuffle, I lost my canopies for that. So I had a buddy of mine who was able to hook me up with one. He had the Storm Talon Stormhawk set, and so basically by helping me out, he has resigned to building a Stormhawk out of that set. I mean, you could still do like an armored cockpit for the Storm Talon, which would be pretty different looking, probably look actually pretty cool. So he helped me out with that, and then also I was able to snag one off of eBay, but that was not fun. It was quite a premium for that piece, but it was the only one I could find. There was only one left that this individual bits vendor had, and there was nobody else selling one. So I got those. They came in the mail. They're actually at my new house, which I'm going to be going to soon to pick that up, and plus I gotta like paint them and get them because I like to do the red tinted windows on my canopies for my Cacardons, so I got to get that, paint the frame portion of it and then tint the inside the red color and then put those on, and then my Xiphons will be done. That's really kind of the last thing I need for my Cacardons to be ready for the team tournament. I could run them without canopies still, it's technically legal because 3-color minimum, all that stuff, but just for overall look and appearance, I definitely need completed models. So hopefully that goes well. I have a good team. We're all, I would say, decent players. I don't know if any of us can be really considered super competitive. We do have one team member that I would say is very competitive when it comes to the kill team side. He's definitely a top tier player in the area in those regards. Plus he made an amazing display board for his kill team. So he'll be playing, aside from the team tournament with us, then he's mostly going to be focusing on the kill team events and in the kill team grand tournament. And then myself and the other team member are pretty much just going to be participating in the narrative events, and then I'm also participating in one of the kill team day pod events, like not one of the not the grand tournament or anything like that, just one of the day events, which hopefully goes well. As you may have seen on the Facebook page, I posted my recent Kill Team tournament that I went to in the area, where actually did pretty well. It was like I haven't played Kill Team since last Nova, and even then I was playing Death Watch. So this time I took Guard or Astra Militarum, however you want to say it, and it was, it went pretty well actually. There was only 8 people. There was 15 that signed up to go, but only about 8 players actually showed up on game day, and I would say about half of them. And I get well, yeah. If I include myself, I would say about 4 of us were, had some pretty competitive lists or pretty decent players anyway. There was a lot of new people. I kind of consider myself to be new, but this was definitely like riding a bike, I guess, because I haven't played Kill Team, like I said, in over a year. But at the same time, this tournament was only core rules, core units, and stuff like that. Nothing out of any of the box sets. So you couldn't use any tactics that came from like Drop Force Impaired or the Fangs of Ulrich or any of those types of things. It was just core book units and tactics and stuff like that, as a way to just kind of help people that haven't played in a tournament before or are new to Kill Team kind of get into it. So we had I think it was like, of the 8, I think 2 people were like brand new, like had maybe only played a couple games of Kill Team. So it was all pretty good. There was a little bit of, I guess, mix up. They tried to use the Best Coast, I think it's Best Coast, right? Best Coast Pairings app, and it wasn't really a problem on the app. Just the TO had never used that app quite before, so there was like some issue with checking in. So the pairings didn't get actually done through that, and none of the results and stuff, unfortunately. So then there ended up being kind of a mix-up with one of the matchups where my 3rd game should actually have been against the Tau player and the Tau player. So we both, I guess, in a way, got matched down, because by round 3, both myself and the Tau player were undefeated. So then I think we should have been matched up, and then he probably would have beat me then, depending, because that mission 3 was a little bit different than mission 4, which is what we ended up playing. But what that led to was the actual individual who won the tournament, I think, got paired down for his final match, and it was against somebody he had already beaten. And he also picked the table, which was heavy cover, which was great for his Reavers, to basically just get into combat and tie up a lot of his guys and kill them in combat, because they're really good in combat. They're Space Marines with power armor saves. So I think having 2 matches against somebody that he beat pretty handedly both times really helped him, because he ended up taking first, and then I think he tied. So he played myself, and we tied, and I ended up just barely beating him on kill points. And then the Tau player, I think they ended up tying as well, and I'm not sure if he won that one or not on kill points or not, but either way, he had 2 games where I'm pretty sure he maxed out on pretty easily. So like I said, unfortunately things were kind of skewed. There was just a little bit of confusion stuff there, but overall, still, it was a great event. Like I said, I just was going in it, just wanted to bust the rust off and get used to this Kill Team I'd never played before, and it definitely helped me do that, helped me get back to the rules. Now at Nova, they are allowing elites, so it will be a little bit different than this thing. So I haven't played elites, I'm not bringing any elites, and so it'll be very interesting. Although I have heard, which I'll have to maybe look into, I might have to pick up the Elites book, because, and I don't know if it'll cost more, but it sounds like somebody was mentioning it at the event, and if you know, please comment, that Scions in the Elites are in the Elites book, and they have a rule basically where they can kind of deep strike or something kind of like drop in like that. So I'm not sure if that's true or not. If it is, then I might need to pick it up, because I have Scions on my list already, and if it's pay an extra point or 2 or something like that, I have a few points left over. On my 100-point list, it's 97 points. So there's 3 points there to mess around with, where I can make 1 or 2 potentially drop in. So if that is a thing I can do, especially with my Tempester, who's my veteran, if he can drop in and then also use his tactic to have a free move before the game, that would be pretty strong potentially. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, like I said, overall it was great. I really didn't know what to expect going in, and then it was, like I said, the top three, I would even say the top four were all very close, I think, in points, to where, unfortunately, like I said, the person who got first, I think, was kind of unfairly matched on their last one. So their last match pretty much guaranteed, no matter what, that they were going to get first place. But then my last match against the Tau, we were basically fighting over who got second. And I think I was a little too aggressive. I changed up my list for that one. Before I had took all plasma, and then I decided to switch out 4 of my plasmas for flamers, and I just think I was a bit too aggressive with them because I kept getting initiative, which wasn't great because I had to move my guys up so I could try to get them in flamer range, but because they had to advance, he would just sit there and ready all of his troops. So then I had my guys that couldn't shoot first, and yeah, it was just, yeah, I feel like looking back at it now, I kind of wish I maybe would have stayed back a little bit and made him move to try to get on objectives and then attack that way. But it's hard to say because I kept winning initiative, which I found against Tau is not a good thing. You definitely don't want to have initiative. You want to go second, I feel, because you want to force them to move, then you can react to their movement, and then also if they're readied everything or whatever they're doing, then you can put your guys in cover or get out of line of sight, that kind of thing. So I definitely think having initiative on Tau is not a good thing. You definitely want to go second against Tau, at least in my experience. That would have helped quite a bit. But yeah, overall though, it was a great event. Like I said, I ended up getting third, which I went into it just wanting to get the experience and get, like I said, back into the rule set. And then also picked up Best Painted as well. There's only 4 of us that were painted. There was 2 other Astra Militarum players, including myself, that made 3. And then we had a Dark Angel Space Marine player who had painted models. So out of the 4 out of the 8 were completely painted, and I ended up getting voted Best Painted, which I think a lot of that just came down to my overall theme of doing like the Halo ODST theme with them. So I definitely had a uniqueness, I think, that kind of drew a lot of people to the models because it was different. And then also I tried to do kind of that jungle, like alien jungle theme, so I had like the different colored, bright colored, like exotic looking alien plants and stuff on the bases. And so I think that kind of helped draw the eye as well. Plus with the visors being that chrome paint and giving that real mirrored look was definitely a positive. Other than that, there was nothing really special about them. They were kind of just black armor, guard, or whatever you want to say. But I just think the uniqueness of the modeling plus the basing and everything is really kind of what helped put it over. If I had not based them, I don't think I would have won at all, because there's a few others that, honestly, like if they would have just based, it would have elevated their models as well. I think like a lot of people don't base, and I get it, it's very tedious and stuff, but it's surprising how much more, like, or to that next level that just doing the basic can really take your models. It really can change up the game a lot just doing your basing. So, but yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else right now. Just gonna be super busy with Nova. I got, we're get there Wednesday at kind of late afternoon, check in, get settled in the room, and get all our stuff all sorted, and then we got the preview event Wednesday night, and going into Thursday right away in the morning. I think it starts at like 10. We got the team tournament that's going to be going pretty much all day, and then once that's finished, I got my first narrative night fight, 2,000 points, and that's all Thursday. And then Friday, I have the kind of early afternoon kill team pod, and then following up that with another night fight event. And then Saturday I have a day fight event, which is going to be like a team one, so 1,000 points teamed up with somebody else for a day fight. And then I have another night fight on Saturday. And then Sunday, the only thing going on is I have got quite a few entries this time for the Capital Palette thing. So if they do it like last time, you can submit multiple models or examples or whatever you want in the different categories like unit, single model, bust, diorama, things like that. But they're gonna, out of all of them that you submit, they'll pick what they feel is your best work and then judge you from there. So I've actually decided to bring quite a few examples for each, except for bust. I did a bust, first time ever doing one. I actually am very excited about how that turned out, so excited to see how I do in that category. But I brought a few examples of units, vehicles, and single model. Again, just throwing my hat out there a little bit more, just different examples, give the judges a few more things to look at and then decide kind of what they think is my best work to go up for the overall judging. Plus, if I'm lucky, they'll take pictures of everything I submitted, and they do some amazing work with their picture work there. So I definitely look forward to seeing those. Unfortunately, last year they only took a picture of my Death Watch model and not my Chapter Master model that I had submitted, which was kind of unfortunate. I'm not sure how that happened or how it got lost in the shuffle there. Or potentially, I thought maybe they only took pictures of the models that they used to do your judgment. But I found out later that the Death Watch was not actually what got me my finalist pin. It was my my Chapter Master that I had done for the Star Commander. So I don't know what really happened there, but anyway, I'll be submitting quite a few different examples this year to see how I do. And still under the journeyman bracket or category, or whatever you want to say, that kind of mid-tier. Because like I said, I definitely am not the best painter in the world. I'm pretty good, I would say, but there's always room for improvement. And even if I can make it into that next level, which I can't remember what it's called now, master class or something like that, if one day I finally make it up into the master class tier, I know like painting skills and improving your painting, just it's a never-ending struggle. Basically, you can always learn and always improve. So yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely excited to see if any of my stuff ranks out. If I do get first, they say that if you get gold or first place in any of your categories, they're basically saying that you're ready for the next level. So if I do end up placing first in any of them, then if I'm able to make it to Nova next year, which is kind of up in the air right now because I've got some work stuff already projected for potentially Nova timeframe next year. But if I'm able to attend, then I will at least hope to then resubmit something into the masterclass thing, depending upon how I do this year. So we'll definitely have to see how that all works out. But kind of a caveat on that for Nova next year, because I don't know, I won't know exactly until May if I'll be able to, well, it won't even be May, I guess. I won't find out. It wouldn't be until August if I would know for sure, which is like right before Nova happens. So honestly, I feel like I'm potentially not going to be able to make it to Nova next year. I'll know for sure in May if there's a chance or not, and if May comes and I find out there's a chance that I have to wait till August. Well, if I have to wait till August, then it's not going to happen. But either way, that means I can't buy my convention pass in March when they open it up, so that means I'm going to miss out, if I can go, on getting a super or a dwarf, which is just unfortunate because they don't allow you to actually buy convention passes and then transfer them if you can't make it. So unfortunately, I'm going to miss out on a supernova or a dwarf next year if I can go, which it is what it is. I just have to go with that. But either way, if I can't go, I'm still going to try to sponsor a team of some kind if I can. We'll see how that goes, because if I can get some of the same members that participated this year, we would need a third still. So we'll see how that goes. But if possible, I would like to at least still sponsor a team going up to the team tournament. So we'll see. But yeah. Well, I guess that's going to be it for right now. I guess another quick update before I forget is everyone that participated in that homebrew chapter contest. I just, again, asked if you could send me your addresses. I'm going to start getting things in the mail, probably be after Nova just because it's so busy. And then of course there's a few of the top tier prizes, like the first place and the second place. They actually haven't released those models yet, so I have to wait for those to release. But I've gotten a decent amount, not everybody, but if you would, please send me your addresses so I can start sending things out when I get back from Nova. I've gotten actually a few people that have wanted to kind of pay it forward and asked that, because they're overseas or whatever, they just said if you could just donate their model, their participation model or whatever to somebody in my local area that's new to the hobby, basically. So to those people, I want to say thank you again for your generosity of giving back to the community here in my local area as well. So I definitely will be gifting a few Space Marine Heroes to some local new players and as a gift from the various chapters that are gifting them to them. So they'll probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but it'll give me a chance to introduce them, I guess, to the page, and then also to show them the video that they can see everybody's work and see the specific chapter that is potentially sponsoring them a new model. So I thought it was really cool too, and again, just an awesome thing to see the community again kind of paying it forward and that generosity going around. I think a lot of times the community can get kind of a bad rap for what is quote unquote called neckbeards, or just the power players and the people that are poor sportsmanship and stuff like that. And I think it's always going to be up to us as a community and to each individual to change that and to call out those people that are being like rules lawyers, and but then at the same time when they make a mistake or they get a rule wrong, they're very quiet. Illegalness, cheating, power players, a new player coming in and they're just bringing in and rolling them over to now this new player doesn't even want to play anymore. It's up to us to change that culture to get back to one of welcoming. And I think in general, by and large, it's a very welcoming community and hobby. But it's just those one or two bad seeds that everybody sees and doesn't want to say anything about. You have that guy, like, oh, he's that guy or he's whatever. But he'll always continue to be that guy if they're left unchecked. And I'm not saying that we need to get up in their faces and start like a big argument or a fight or anything, but we definitely need to make it known that they are seen and it's recognized and it's not welcome. And eventually they'll get the hint and either pull back on what they're doing or find a new place to play. And unfortunately, that means that it's somebody else's problem, but if they continue to do that, then potentially we can weed out some of the bad seeds. So that's kind of my soapbox on that one. And so with that, I'll say again, if you're new to the channel, please check out the rest of the channel and the rest of the videos I've got going on. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, as it definitely helps the channel grow and get out there. And if you have any comments or suggestions or anything to make the channel better or the videos better or things you want to see, please leave them in the comments below or send me a message. Also, you can check out the Facebook page in the description below. I definitely update that pretty regularly with just things going on, pictures, updates, funny memes, whatever you will, as things go by. So, and I guess with all of that, I will finally say, until next time.